Welcome. I thought I'm going to do a very quick thing because I've got lots of meetings about Exeter today. And if you're coming to Exeter, please keep in touch with what we're doing and where we're going to be because I think you'll find we are going to have to move. We have moved location. And that's because there's another lot of activism. If you like what I'm wearing today, it is more like it's such a lovely color. It's called peacock green. You can find it on the website, and this is obviously mother um, decal. And if I always say about these decals, look, no effects. That's just how it is. Um, but it's kind of like the color that I've chosen for the banner, so that you can get a really good. It's just gorgeous. The color is absolutely gorgeous. I'm going to do a very quick one today because like I said, I've got meetings, meetings about Exeter. So, I've had quite a few emails in the last week, all talking about the same thing. And then I happened to be in a particular supermarket today, and I was talking to the person behind the checkout. Was saying, "Oh, I'm thinking of doing some more jutes, like these shopping bags, because we've had quite a few requests." And she said, "Oh, what do you do?" And I said, "Well, I make them myself. We get them printed, or sometimes we print stuff ourselves, and blah blah blah." And she said, "Oh yeah, what would you put on it?" And I said, "Oh, the word woman." And we had this little chat, and then what was really interesting is she obviously agreed with me from the off, but she did loads of checks to make sure she knew what I was talking about before she let me know that she agreed, which I think is a really incredible thing, and a very sad indictment of where we are as a society. So, she was very nice, and she said that her sister goes to Frome College, which is very near to me, and that her sister now doesn't go to the loo all day because the toilets are all gender neutral. So, teal. That probably is teal. I'm just going to double check that it is teal. What color is teal? Oh, it is teal. It's teal. I called it green peacock, but it is teal. So if you like, it's a new color. I've got some other lovely things too. Um, could I do more t-shirts for Team Turf XYers? Yes, I definitely can do that. Anyway, let me get on with it. So I just want to tell you how you deal with schools because I'm going to remind you, parents, of your duty to your children. Nobody loves your children like you do. Nobody likes your children like you do. Nobody is impressed by the way they sneeze and the funny stories like you are. Nobody is entertained by whether or not they ran down the stairs quickly or the funny words that they say. Very few people actually care at all about your children, but you do. And it comes to you. They're the people you rely on until they can stand up for themselves in against adults. They're the people that rely on you 100% you. And so what you have to do is you have to be their advocate. And talking of advocates, ju- okay. So my first duty is to my child who never calls me twice in a row. Anyway, so um, you can't you can't abdicate your responsibility when it comes to your children. So if your child is in a school where this stuff is going to be taught, you have to go in. If you want someone to accompany you, then do reach out to us and we will see if we've got someone nearby. And if we don't, we will try and organize someone nearby to come along with you, to sit with you and hold your hand while you say the things that you need to say. So, what you need to do is the you have to go into the school, you have to make an appointment. You also see the syllabus, um, and you make sure that your school is not signed up to any crappy organization like Pride, Rainbow, whatever, Educate and Celebrate, any rainbow badges. Like, what do they do at Pride? What do they do with LGBT History Month? How much are they invested in this particular cult? Is there anything around school that you need to see? And then what you do is you go in and you ask to see the syllabus in front of the teachers, and you pick out some words and you ask the teachers what they mean. So you might go through and say, "Oh, what does gender identity mean?" And they say, well, it means blah 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 blah, circular definition." And you say, "Oh, okay. So what is gender?" "Well, it's what your head feels." "Oh, okay. Is that like a soul or more like personality? Like what is it?" And I think what you do is you press them and you push them into a position where they know that they're talking absolute shit. Now, I'm really good at confrontation. I'm very good at staying calm. So this is what I'm going to recommend to you. Never lose your temper. Always look people straight in the face. When they run out of words, count to 10 before you say anything. It's a really good tactic. It makes people feel quite uncomfortable and it puts you in a position of power. When they say things like, "I refuse to answer that. I'm not going to answer that." You then, so they'll say, "Oh, I'm afraid I won't answer hypotheticals." They will speak before you do. All right. So it's a really important lesson in winning an argument, in winning a conversation, in exerting your power in a conversation. So you just be quiet when you and ask them a question. And if they, so for example, "Oh, what does gender identity mean?" "Well, what it means is it's the way you feel about your gender," right? They'll say, and you'll go, "Oh, it's the way they feel it. It's the way that someone feels about gender." So you're going to be open and friendly at the start of the conversation. "Oh, okay. Oh, all right. It's just really interesting. So what do you say gender identity is?" "Oh, it's the way they feel about their gender." Um, so gender identity is the way we feel, and our bodies is the expression. And then you just, "And what does gender mean?" Well, gender is, for some people, like you have biological sex, and they won't know what they're talking about. FYI, they might say something like, "Well, that's why we've chosen to have somebody in. That's why we've chosen to have gendered intelligence." And hopefully, by this point, you'll have looked up their syllabus and they'll looked up their policies and who they work with, and you'll already know the answers to these questions. So they'll say, "Oh, we work with gendered intelligence," and then you can say, "Is that the organization that says if a boy thinks he's a girl, he can use girls' private spaces?" "Well, no, what it means is that, uh, if a child's gender identity is female." "Oh, is my daughter's gender identity female then? Because I don't think she has one." Okay, so then you'll just say, "Okay, so what about if my child is blah blah blah?" Or do you think? I'll write some questions actually. Do you think? Do you think it's right that little girls who feel that they want female only space? Do you think it's right that your school doesn't have any of those? That there are no spaces? Have you read the research that girls now are refusing to use the toilet, and boys in some cases, but girls are refusing to use the toilet during the school day because they don't feel comfortable in these spaces? Um, what sort of research did you do before you changed all the toilets to gender neutral? Did you have what was your impact assessment when it came to girls? And are you a little bit worried that maybe you're actually discriminating on on the basis of the sex because girls are more adversely affected by actually eradicating female only spaces? So these are the sort of questions that you need to ask. And I would recommend that you take someone with you. And if you can't take someone with you, please give us a call. Well, don't give us a call because you'll never get through. But send us a message, and we are going to put special forms so that people are directed to the right people. And we will try and find someone. And failing that, I can come. And we will just have these conversations. But you are the advocate. Your child can't do it. You can do it. Now, if you think by going and speaking to teachers in a school that you make your child unsafe, then why the freaking hell are you sending them to that school? Like, what does that say? What does that tell you in your instincts? If you think that going to a school and trying to advocate for the rights of your child for dignity, privacy, and not being lied to and gaslit in a school situation, what does that tell you? The other thing that we will be doing, the other thing that we will be doing, as oh, I better. I have got a meeting. The other thing we will be doing is let women speak. Is we will be going outside of school. So if your child's school is captured, then let us know, and we will do a little leaflet campaigning outside of the school. And we will do it very carefully. We don't want to frighten children. We don't want children to be used like they are by this cult. We don't want to use children. We don't want to make children feel afraid with a load of strangers hanging around a school. And it will be sort of after drop off time and before pickup time, certainly in a primary school when there's lots of traffic. So do let us know. But I just want to tell you that how you take power in a conversation, and that's silences and forcing people to speak is a really good tactic. Really, really, just try it the next time you're in a situation where somebody is needing to answer to you, just try um, counting to 10 before you answer, counting to 5 before you answer if you feel 10 is a bit too much, or even counting to 3. Just like 1, 2, 3. It's really interesting you say that because I'm quite worried about blah blah blah. Okay, so quiet voice as well. Try and if you talk up here or if your voice is here, try and drop it a little bit. So try and also the other thing you do to control a conversation is you speak very very quietly because then they have to shut up to hear every word that you say. Okay. There's no choice in schools because they're all signed up. Well, um, when we get there, where will it be? Will there be Wi-Fi? When we get there, will there be Wi-Fi? Let me just say, if that is the case, let us know where you are because we are going to come to lots of countries um, as soon as humanly possible. Okay, right. Love to you. Look, if you stand up for your child because you're the only bloody one that will, then I promise we will win. If if you can really, really focus on these very good tactics in a conversation. Very good tactics in a conversation. Very calm, annoying, almost annoyingly calm and careful with the words that you say, and that you look people right in the eye when you say them, and you say uncomfortable words. So you might say, what about when a girl has got a period and she's got blood all over her hands and she wants to go to the middle sinks to wash them, and there are boys in those toilets. Okay? And do you know why else we're going to win? Because I never lose.